at least take a deep breath, let go of some stress. Maybe join me in a little checking in with the spine, shaking off the stresses. I'm going to take a couple. Well, hey, I thought you were gone. I'll roll back up. Just checking in with the spine here. Letting gravity do a little unwinding. Taking it nice and gentle still, because I've apparently got a cracked rib, I think, and that makes for a little bit slower and more painful navigation. I'm going to bend forward with a relatively flat back from the hips, kind of swan diving down. Just again checking in with the spine, letting gravity do some unwinding, relaxing the back, relaxing the belly, letting go of stress. Shake it out gently down here. And then I'm going to roll up again, real slow. Ooh. Just checking in with the torso, with the spine. I got to do some real slow arm swingings. Keep the ka-chunks at a minimum. I like to alternate weight on one foot and then the other for these. And then I'm going to actually push into the hips, kind of similar weight alternating, but this time instead of twisting the arms, I'm just going to push into the right hip, push into the left hip, push into the right and to the left again, and then rooting both feet under the hips. I'm going to do some hip slides over to the left, keeping these hips relatively parallel to the floor. Thank you for the love. I do appreciate it. And over to the left. And over to the right. One more time to the left. For me, that brings a stretch up into the torso. And then I'm going to step out into a little bit of a straddle and do hip dips, which brings that stretch down into the legs. For me, dipping on the left, dipping on the right, and on the left again, and on the right again. Just loosening the body up. I've got a lot of inflammation going on for numerous reasons today, so I'll be taking it nice and gentle. I encourage you to listen to your own body and find a way to get some playful, gentle stretching and strengthening within the parameters of whatever your body's, I was going to say capable of, but you want to push a little, what do they say, 4% past your comfort zone is the sweet spot. That's just a tiny bit more. I'm going to step back with this left foot into a moderate lunge, pressing into that back heel, pulling that back hip forward, pulling the forward hip back, checking that that front knee is not crunching past the toes. I'm going to deepen that a little bit by scrunching those feet a little further apart, still making sure not to crunch past the toes with that knee, tipping the tailbone under a little bit. Just going to enjoy this pose for a breath or two, feeling into the legs, twisting the pelvis so that it's perpendicular to my parallel feet. And bring these arms out front and pulling the shoulders back and down, making sure not to leave those shoulders out of the hip socket. You can leave the shoulders out of the hip socket, but the arms in the shoulder socket is what I was trying to say. Goodness. I'm going to alternate sharp focus on the tips of my fingers and soft eyes. Peripheral vision, gazing far into the distance, all the way around the universe to see the back of my own head. And kind of noticing where my peripheral vision gets to, and then bringing that focus back to sharp eyes on the tip of my fingers, still making sure to roll those shoulders down and back, and then again, soft eyes gazing past my fingertips all the way around the universe to see the back of my own head. And one more time, sharp focus on the tips of those fingers, and then soft eyes, diffuse focus, peripheral vision, and all the way around the universe to see the back of my own head. And then I'm going to shift this back heel forward a little bit onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips, pulling this knee out, these two sides of the hips apart, checking out the side plane here. And then I'm going to slide that back foot out a little bit more and bend from the hip into a side twisting triangle, raising that left hand and gazing past those fingertips, using my right arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Just enjoying that nice deeper lunge. I'm going to bring this hand around the back side for an additional twist, reaching for that opposite thigh, gazing down past the long leg, giving all those organs a nice hello, little hug, gentle wringing out, and then unwinding all of that. I'm going to bring this hand down on the inside of that right leg, bringing weight onto both hands and bringing that right leg back to meet the back leg, pushing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone under, pressing into both heels. Let's bend the right knee and press more into that left heel, and then bend the left knee, pressing into the right, and again pressing into the left, and pressing into the right, and then pressing back through both palms, pressing the heart toward the center of the earth, pressing into both heels, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. I'm going to swing the body forward gently, mindfully, because of my rib, bringing the chest forward through those shoulders if I can, bringing the legs together, lifting the chest and eyes and letting the belly just drop. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the back. Working for stability in the front, and then lifting the hips, pressing back through the palms, into those heels again. The long flat back, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. And then I'm going to swing the left leg forward with a little hitch in that giddy up to mind the ribs. And bring both hands on either side of that front leg. A nice deep lunge, and then stepping forward with the back leg and hanging here in forward fold again. Just letting the belly release, letting the belly release. Letting gravity do some unwinding of the spine. Shaking that out a little bit gently. Bend the knees, swinging the arms back. Coming into a counter stretch. Pushing the hips forward, lifting the chest and arms and eyes. And then coming back to neutral. Shake that out again. I'm going to step back with the right foot into another moderate lunge. Again, pulling the back hip forward, forward hip back. Looking for a perpendicular line with the hips and parallel lines with the feet. Pushing into that back heel. Checking that the front knee is not crunching past the front toes. Deepening that lunge a little bit. I'm going to again And arms up overhead and then in front, pulling the shoulders down and back. And alternating sharp focus on the tips of my fingers, and then soft eyes past my fingers, noticing the peripheral vision, gazing out long around the universe to see the back of my own head. And then again, sharp focus on the tips of the fingers. And then soft eyes gazing past the fingertips to see the back of my own head. And again, sharp focus on those fingers. Still really working to pull those hips into a perpendicular line. And one more time, soft eyes gazing past my fingers, around the world or the universe or my heart to see the back of my own head. And then I'm going to shift that back foot onto the perpendicular line. Again, opening the hips, pulling this knee out. And checking out the side plane here. I'm going to slide that back foot out a little bit more, bending from the hips and coming into a side twisting triangle on that side. Lifting the right arm and gazing past those fingertips. And using my left arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Bring this hand around and reach for that opposite thigh. I've got the very unstretchy jeans on today. It's making for a challenge, and that's okay. Gazing past that long leg, giving everybody a nice twisting, wringing out hug. I'm going to bring this arm down on the inside of that left leg, bringing weight onto my hands, and bringing that front leg again back to meet the back leg. Pushing through the palms. I've got a slidey blanket here that I'm going to move out of the way. Through the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into those heels. I'm going to skip the forward bend because my ribs are saying, please, no. And I'm just going to walk the feet forward. I'm going to skip the step forward too. Walking the feet toward the hands and coming back into center. And just again, letting the spine unwind in a forward fold. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the back. Letting the arms hang. Can add a little extra weight to the head. And just increase that unwinding. And then I'm going to roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, stacking on the next. Just checking in with that spine. Oof-da. I'm on that 1 week into an injury place of healing that's a little bit more painful than it was last week. And hopefully more painful than it will be next week. Just going to enjoy a little gentle side-to-side twisting. I hope that you're remembering to listen to your own body. Give yourself a little love because you are worth it. Little playful movement because your body is a movement machine. Wish you a wonderful Wednesday. Don't forget to play. Breathe and smile. I'll be seeing you. Peace.